like you said, the lowest amount of moves on record, and I bet 20. This year is probably pretty close to the same, if not a little bit down even from that. How do you like lead your leaders to navigate? Hey, we've got the right people, we've got the right equipment, we've got this, but the business model doesn't support the amount of business that we have just because people just aren't moving. How do you navigate you know you know uncertainty and tough times from a leadership perspective? How are you leading your leaders to lead the rest of the organization through challenging times?
Yeah, I mean, I think that any challenging time is going to come with a lot of hard decisions. I've been faced with a lot of those over the last couple years, and that big foundation we built. We had to kind of break it back down a little bit, and kind of take away the bells and whistles and the things that we really didn't absolutely need, and that didn't hurt our customer experience, or you know we had to shut down some new offices that I was like, hey, look, this just isn't the time to go in and open a new location in a big market like this. So you kind of got to pull back the reins a little bit, and adjust to what the market calls for. But we've also found that we were able to raise our rates substantially, and we have not lost any revenue, even with we're doing half the moves but the same top line revenue, because we've doubled our prices, quite frankly, because all of our materials, all of our labor, fuel, our leads have skyrocketed. I mean, I pay about anywhere from $100 to $150 per lead, and I spend $1 million a month, or more in advertising and SEO. So it's like we have to we have to really look and just kind of find creative ways to generate business differently. We also, when we kind of grew to the size that we were, and we had this huge online presence, from an SEO and an SEM perspective. um, I will say that the bigger, and I think it's just any organization, right? The bigger you are and the bigger you get, and we had all these leads coming in, organically, right? So we almost stopped chasing like agent deals, you know what I mean? Like, stop chasing agents as much for their deals, and stop doing, all the business development that we really kind of founded the business on. Like, I started going out, to Kinder and Reese and all those guys, like, really back in that time. That was where I got all 100% of my leads, that and Yelp, right? I wasn't doing any SEO, I wasn't doing any PPC ads or anything like that. But I think so. We've kind of, you kind of got to go back to the basics a little bit, I think, and really just kind of understand what works, and be incredibly resourceful with everything that you have, and who you have, right? Make sure that you're getting 100% out of each employee that is in that corporate location. We're finding different ways for them to add value to the organization, and kind of, I mean, we had to, we have to scale back a little bit at times and redistribute some roles and responsibilities. And hey, everybody knows, if you've got the right team, and you've built the right culture, then everybody understand, like, they get it, right? It's not like blindsided by it. It's like, hey, look, if the business goes like this, I mean, we got to make changes, and adjust some things, and your job is going to get harder, right? But that doesn't mean that it's going to be like that forever, or that you're still not going to enjoy it and make it, we're going to make an impact. But
Dude, I love
so I
that.
just think it's adjusting your game plan, man. You always got to have a plan B and a plan C. And I'm a big tester, so I test everything from lead sources to uh, operational, cost adjustments. Like, I will test everything till the sun comes up, until I find you know the right amount, that I have to adjust to make my bottom line work. So
Yeah. Well, you agents listening to that lesson, that nugget right there means in order to test, you have to measure. And
Yeah.
if you're not measuring, then there's no way to test whether, this thing that you're trying, this idea that you're trying, this new strategy is going to work or not. If you have nothing to measure against, what does success look like?
Yeah. If you
Great.
don't know your numbers, you don't know your
Lesson.
business. I mean, that's
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 it.
plain and simple. Yeah.